Growing up a bow hunter in severe northeast Missouri, our options were pretty limited when it came to buying our accessories, arrows, or even a new bow. Aside from Steve Peters' basement archery shop that was open part-time at best, the closest shops were more than an hour away. Proximity and a busy schedule made visits to them a rarity. That changed my senior year of high school in 2003, when news spread of a bow shop opening just across the river in Quincy, Illinois. It's exciting to be sharing the story of a near hometown store in Quincy for this episode of Shop Talk over 2 decades later.
The hunting community here is so big. I mean, it's if you grew up in this area, and even if you didn't grow up in this area, you know Adams, Pike, Brown, McDonough, all these counties around here. That
triangle.
It definitely produces the best of the best, and it's really interesting to me how impactful this store is for a lot of the out-of-state guys that come in here too. So October on to the end of the year, well, September, October, November, you know, we meet people all over. They mainly come from the east and the south, but for the most part, we see famous people in here that just come up here to hunt. And it truly is an underrated economic impact in Quincy.
Though some self-proclaimed whitetail experts might say otherwise, there's no doubt that this area of western Illinois, as well as its neighbor to the west, northeast Missouri, are two of the most highly revered whitetail hunting areas in the U.S. The traffic of locals and non-residents alike provide the perfect opportunity for a thriving outdoor store.
And it started here in 2003. I got involved with this store. I was involved always, I guess, as a customer of this store from when they started, but I knew both owners pretty well for the most part. Don Taylor and Steve Brink, they were the two original partners that started the store in 2003. One of the partners, so Steve and I were partners, and then last year, unexpectedly, Steve passed. I went and bought the remaining shares out, bought the real estate that sits here that he owned. And again, he was kind of a mogul in regards to that out here.
Oh yeah.
Introduced, I have a good friend of mine, we've been friends 20 years. He's from Quincy Payson area. He's got 4 kids. They're all in the outdoors type atmosphere too. Anyway, Jared Allensworth is his name. And essentially I said, hey, I'm looking to share the responsibility, share the knowledge, the community, all that type of stuff. And he was like, I think at first he was thinking like, wow, I'm getting an opportunity to get in on this. I hope that's what he was thinking. And what used to be the front of the store was where it originated. And then they actually moved to the rear of the store, which was rear facing. So now we're going back up to the front. We're going into about a 30 to 32,000 square foot space. The archery department will expand a little bit. Every department that we have is essentially going to expand.
Let's talk about kind of the past and what a privilege it was, and you know, what a responsibility it was to take on the responsibilities or buy into and now own the store with Steve and Don setting the tone for the first decade and a half of ownership.
Yeah, it was definitely, you know, retail has had its challenges, and then I don't even want to say the word COVID because everybody's so sick of hearing about it, but that, you know, it was a shot in the arm for retail when COVID hit. And I think the challenge for us at this point, where we're far enough away from it, is to maintain those levels. You know, inflation has definitely hit. People's residual income is not like what it was, but maintaining price points, maintaining inventory levels, it's all a challenge. But the duty that I felt like I had was, you know, coming into this store, again, I come through that front door as a customer and I see what was missing as a customer that I felt. And I come through that door today as a customer and I see, okay, what are we missing? What do we need? To me, I've always been a firm believer you got to have inventory to sell it.
Back to my opening statement of limited opportunity and inventory, from the time the doors of Game Masters opened, they have always prided themselves on having a large assortment of the best gear. It's no doubt that this mission has proved greater success and at times survival.
Well, we're shooting this series in partnership with Mossy Oak, and they have a big initiative right now called Support Your Local Bow Shop. And really, it marries up so well with our idea and our concept around showcasing stores and teams like the one here at Game Masters and telling the origin stories and giving each of these communities a little something to celebrate, you know, about their local hunting community and retailer. And, you know, as you kind of think about a brand like Mossy Oak and you look at this store that has now been here for 20 plus years, where do you see some similarities in what's happening?
I mean, Mossy Oak is a staple.
Yeah.
I mean, they're you know, as a kid growing up, you know, I'm not going to say my age, but I'm 40 something, you know, so I grew up when Mossy Oak was coming into the picture, and I see, you know, obviously there's the digital camo has been a big, but I feel like the roots of hunting has always been Mossy Oak in a sense, and it's like they, you know, as many years as they've been around, they're still on our top shelf, you know, and that is what's cool. And any type of business like us, I mean, I think everybody strives to be that type, you know. It's like you can carry on I don't want to call it a legacy, but I guess that's what it is. If you can carry that on, and they haven't really tweaked it a whole lot, and it's been original, you know, there's been different variations, of course, but I mean, that is, I think, everybody's goal.
Mossy Oak has established a legacy indeed. It's neat to see the roots of that legacy reach far beyond the state border of Mississippi, hundreds of miles north to the Quincy area. An area where Mossy Oak greats like Mark Drury, Terry Drury, Will Primos, and even our very own Kenneth Lancaster and Mark Heck have hunted the nearby woods in their Mossy Oak and likely entered the doors of game masters.
I would say the Mossy Oak customer and our customer is probably set up to, you know, they want the best of the best, and that's what it is. And how many things have you seen with a Mossy Oak pattern on it? Whether it's Benelli or you know, the brand name. I could go on and on with brand names, and I don't mean to throw that one. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you definitely, at our shop here, I always tell people, like, you got your farm stores, you got your big box stores. Like, we kind of meet with products. I feel like our product line goes up, and theirs kind of is in the middle and goes down. And not in a bad way. There's a buyer for everything. But if you go through the majority of this store, it is products with Mossy Oak's name on it. So that buyer is definitely someone who wants the best of the best.
What does it mean to you to hear that they're reinvesting in the mom and pop shops?
Well, I mean, it's everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what keeps us going in a brick and mortar. I mean, there's been a lot, you know, for me in my 20s, you know, there was a big push of the online, and there's the Amazon. There always will be at this point moving forward. But at the same time, I feel like the brick and mortars, if you made it through and you're here today, I think you're going to be just fine, because at the end of the day, if you keep that product in front of people, I feel like the more the people that have bought online and they get something in, you're disappointed with it. Well, now you got to wait, you got to send it back. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be. It could be any
automation service.
It could be any product for that matter. But I just feel like having the brick and mortar and these called a local bow shop, having it here, come and check these bows out, come feel them, touch them, smell them. That is everything to have in the retail world, in my opinion, in this day and age.
As a hunting community, we have our quirks. We have a desire to socialize. We love to share our stories, and we try before we buy. It's no doubt that Trevor, Jared, Miss Heidi, and the whole Game Masters team are providing the perfect environment for bow hunters alike inside their doors and in the community. It's been a real pleasure to be a beneficiary of that environment for the last 22 years. Our community is proud of Game Masters, and we couldn't be happier to support them as our local bow shop.